2 years ago, I was sitting in a corner office on the 47th floor, staring out at the city skyline, earning more money than I'd ever dreamed of, and I felt absolutely trapped. That view from my window, those endless buildings stretching toward the horizon, should have represented possibility, but instead, it felt like prison bars. Today, I want to share with you the story of how I learned that being free isn't about escaping your circumstances, but about understanding that the sky truly is the limit, when you stop building your own cages. Let me take you back to that moment when everything shifted. I remember it was a Tuesday morning, and I was preparing for another presentation that would make the company millions, while slowly draining something essential from my soul. My assistant knocked on my door. She was barely 22, fresh out of college, and her eyes still held that spark I remembered having once. She asked me a simple question: "Do you ever feel like you're living someone else's life?" Her words hit me like lightning, because I realized I'd been asking myself that same question every morning in the mirror for months. Here I was, having climbed every rung of the traditional success ladder, yet I felt more confined than ever. The irony wasn't lost on me. I had more resources than ever to create the life I wanted, but I'd forgotten what I actually wanted that life to look like. That evening, instead of heading home to my empty apartment, I drove to the beach where I used to go as a child. Sitting there on the sand, watching the waves meet the endless horizon, I finally understood what freedom really means. It's not about having unlimited choices, it's about having the courage to make the choices that align with who you truly are, not who you think you should be. I realized I'd been measuring my altitude by other people's mountains. The corporate world had convinced me that success meant climbing higher and higher up a predetermined path, but true freedom comes from recognizing that you're not a mountain climber, you're meant to fly. The sky isn't the limit when you understand that limits are often illusions we accept, because they feel safer than the vast unknown of our own potential. The next morning, I didn't quit my job dramatically. That's not how real change works. Instead, I began the gradual process of redesigning my life from the inside out. I started asking myself different questions. What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? What brings me alive rather than just bringing me income? How can I contribute to something larger than myself, while honoring who I am at my core? These questions led me to make changes that seemed small but created seismic shifts. I began writing again, something I'd abandoned years ago. I started volunteering with young entrepreneurs, sharing what I'd learned about business while learning from their fearless creativity. I discovered that freedom isn't a destination you reach. It's a way of being you choose, moment by moment, day by day. What I learned through this journey is that most of us are living far below our potential, not because we lack capability, but because we've accepted someone else's definition of what's possible. We've internalized voices that tell us to be realistic, to play it safe, to color within the lines. But here's what I've discovered: the sky is only the limit, if you believe you're bound to the earth. True freedom comes from recognizing that you are both the architect and the inhabitant of your life. Every day, you're either building walls or building wings. The moment you understand that your potential is as limitless as your willingness to explore it, everything changes. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones, and the dreams that once felt impossible become tomorrow's reality. So I want to leave you with this question: what would you do if you truly believed the sky was just the beginning? What dreams have you shelved because they seem too big, too bold, too different from what others expect of you? Your life is not a dress rehearsal. This moment, right now, is your opportunity to choose freedom over fear, possibility over limitation, your authentic path over someone else's approved route. The sky isn't the limit, it's your launching pad. Take a moment today to sit quietly and ask yourself, what does freedom mean to me? And what one small step can I take today to move toward that vision? Because the world needs what you have to offer, when you're truly free to offer it. Remember, you weren't born to fit in, you were born to stand out, to soar, to discover just how high you can fly when you stop telling yourself you're meant to stay grounded. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What does freedom look like in your life? And don't forget to subscribe for more real stories about personal growth and living authentically. Until next time, keep your eyes on the sky. It's just the beginning.